One of the things I really enjoy about the war stories is talking about stuff that happened long before a lot of you guys got started in paintball. And arguably some stuff that happened long before some of you even were alive. So this is one of those stories because this takes place back in 1991. In order to explain this, I need to explain one thing that's probably not that big of a secret. I'm a geek. Yeah, old school geek. I love gaming, role-playing games, computer games, all that other stuff. So when I was in college, I was involved with the role-playing special interest group at Winona State University. And every other weekend we'd get together and we'd play role-playing games, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. But the thing is, the only gaming store was about half an hour down to the south in La Crosse, Wisconsin. They had their own gaming group, the La Crosse Area Gaming Society, or LAGS for short. Now you have to imagine a time before the internet where geeks who actually had a rivalry would actually have to sit down face to face and look at each other, and actually there was some forethought and some planning, and it was a way different time. So the setup for this was the BattleTech Traveling Trophy, and how do I describe what happened? Yeah, they got pretty badly beaten. They got humiliated. They had to surrender, and then surrender the salvage rights to their mechs in the. To try to put this in perspective, try to imagine losing a game of paintball and the only way that you're allowed to leave the field is to surrender all of your paintballs to the other team. This did not bode well with them for obvious reasons, and so the next LAGS meeting they were trying to figure out, well, how do we regain honor? How do we get back at them for this? And one person said, well, you know, there's a paintball field up the road. And within only a couple days, we had 2 teams, we had a field, we were ready to go. Now, we actually made some agreements beforehand. We were all going to use Splatmasters because that seemed more fair to all of us. And as far as the teams went, well, anything goes. All it had to be was somebody who was a member or somebody who knew a member, and it was going to work out pretty well. LAGS figured they were going to have an advantage over us because they had a bunch of hunters and veterans on their team, and they looked at us and going, wow, there's a bunch of young kids over there. What they didn't count on was that RPSIG actually had a couple of really good paintball players. We had a couple of people who understood Sun Tzu's art of war backwards and forwards and understood how tactics works. And we had Huey. Huey is not his real name. I don't even know what his real name is. I don't know where he is right now. He was in the military, and they shifted him around so often. It's the day of the event. We have the field basically in the afternoon, and I'm kind of biting my nails because I'm waiting for people to show up so we can go. And okay, so where's Huey? Where's all these people at? Oh, don't worry, he'll be here. Yeah, he was there, all right. Somewhere I do have a picture of this, but it's not here. But Huey shows up at the house, spit shine boots, creased camouflage, brand new camouflage jacket, hat on, and it's stiff on the top. You guys know the style. He's got his complete face paint going all the way up the top of the hairline, down to here on the neck, all around down to here on the sides, hands painted up all the way down to this far on his arm. And the first thing we do is we look at him and go, hey Huey, you know they give you goggles and a full face mask, right? Put the cigarette in his mouth and I don't want it, just give me goggles. Okay, now at the time it was okay to wear just goggles when you played, so we're like, all right. So many stories off of the night. The biggest problem that we had was the field ran out of Splatmasters. So I reluctantly grabbed my gun, which was a Nasty Boys SI, which is an old pump gun, old Bushmaster clone. I know when I say Bushmaster clone, I'm going to lose a lot of you guys, but for those of you old timers, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And one of my buddies who had a brand new Phantom, he was yelling at me that he was pinned down by a guy with a Splatmaster. So I was standing right next to him going, where's the guy at? Oh, he's right over there, he's right over there. And I'm standing, oh, okay, I see where he's at. Flank around, get within about 100 feet, and I shoot the guy in the hand with one shot. You know, that kind of stuff. But the really fun story of the night was the night game, because we started playing about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so by the time we got to our 4th game, yeah, night was falling. Well, okay, night wasn't exactly falling, it was coming crashing down around our ears. We had the high ground, they had the low ground, and I should kind of explain one thing. Like I said, this field is on Granddad's Bluff, and the only way to play this field was, okay, I'm going for the flag, on belay! And they let us have the high ground. What? And as night is falling, the only light that we have is the bar that's way over the field up here, because the lights from there were kind of shining a little bit onto the field. Yeah, it really didn't work out very well, and we'd already won the first 3 games of the night, so we figured, okay, we're just going to sit and we're going to make them come to us. Unfortunately, this was their plan too. And the referees are yelling, okay, 10 minutes to go, 5 minutes to go, 2 minutes to go. And right after the referee yelled 2 minutes to go, one of my good friends, Roger, just yells, charge! I was sharing a bunker with Jim at the time, and I roll out to the right, he rolls out to the left. We hammer on this poor guy. We just started going. And up on the high side of the field, they started going. The low side of the field, they started going. Yeah, all we needed was one guy to make the idiot call, and Roger did it. Unfortunately, because of the layout of the field, we didn't have enough time to run the flag back, but try to imagine, if you will, about 15, 20 guys in the dark shooting at each other with guns. Yeah, the word mayhem only begins to describe it. The final tally of the night was that we had beaten them 4 games out of 4. And, you know, they put up a decent fight, but they were not exactly paintball players, and we were. Not to mention that when we gave them a choice of which side of the field to take, they decided to take the low ground consistently. We also did try to organize a second LAGS versus RPSIG event too, but the only 5 people that showed up were me and 4 buddies, so we figured, we win by default, we're just going to go to the bar. In a way, I wish that we could have all used the Splatmasters, because that would have made a much more entertaining game, at least for me. But as it turned out, yeah, most of us are using Splatmasters, a couple of us are using regular old pump guns with 10-round stick feeds on the side. It was still a good time. And there are some photos from this event floating around all over the place, but I'll show you guys the one that I still have. That one over there. Yeah, I was a geek. I still am a geek. What am I saying? And I probably should mention this too about Huey. Yeah, we played 4 games in the night. Huey got eliminated 4 times. All 4 times he would run to the front of the field, shoot 3 or 4 guys, and he would get hit in the face. He got shot like once, where was it? Well, like once here, once on his lip, which split his lip open. And I think he got shot like just under the cheekbone right over here too, if I remember correctly. He was spitting paint the entire time, and there wasn't enough beer up in the bar in order to wash that taste out of his mouth. And he kept on saying, oh, this is worse than scope bite. And actually, I kind of agree with him on that. And the worst part is that the field can't even be played anymore because it doesn't really exist. You see, back in '93, the field kind of had to close down because apparently the bar was leasing land that they didn't really own. And so the guy who actually ran the field, he was trying to get the land, but the city did something. I don't even know half the story. And the thing is that I don't think this could ever possibly happen again, you see, because if you've got a bunch of geeks and a bunch of gamers, they're not going to actually meet in person to settle their differences. No, they're going to do it online, someplace that they can sit in a comfy chair in an air-conditioned room. Give me the bugs and the mud and the dirt anytime over that. I'm a happy guy.